All right, I'm gonna see you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Chuck and Lisa Show. We are back after a 2-week absence. Mr. Dershey, our illustrious producer, has been on vacation, and we've been running amok. Everybody, say hello, Lisa.
I've been running amok.
Hello, Lisa.
Cheers.
Hello, Lisa.
Dershey. Hello, Lisa.
It's been
normal.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Give her a chance to catch
I know.
up.
I forgot. I'm supposed to say hello to myself.
Yes, you are. And hello, Mr. Dershey. Welcome home, sir.
Thank you.
You just got home hours ago, didn't
Thank
you?
you. Sure did. About 3 hours ago now? 4 hours ago?
Fantastic. Before we get into telling you all about Dershey's trip and everything we're going to talk about, we have to go through the routine of telling you where to find us. Me, I'm everywhere.
Not really.
Well, except Twitter. They don't want me anymore.
Right.
Twitter doesn't love me no more.
Oh, I meant to tell you this
And
today.
Jack still sucks.
Can I tell you this real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I pretty much post everything, or not everything, once or twice a day to you on Facebook.
Yes.
And when I click on share to a friend's page, you're like never one of the people that shows up. I have to type your name in.
Really?
Yeah, like
on Facebook.
On Facebook.
So I'm already shadow banned there too.
Apparently so.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that funny?
I figured out. They told me they were going to shadow ban me.
Because you know how they give you a list of people that you talk to on a regular basis.
So
you're never one of the people. You're never one of the people.
Well, I got shadow banned for how many years before they finally kicked me off of Twitter? Dersh, what was it? 4 years? Something like that.
I just thought you would find that interesting.
I find it amazing. Jack probably told Zuck. Yeah? He's like, watch out for that guy.
Anyway,
I just thought you would find that amusing.
I think Jack has lost control of his company, if you ask me.
Yeah? I'm sure he's lost his mind.
Well, it's all that intermittent fasting. He forgot to eat.
His doing what?
His intermittent fasting.
No, I know what Dershey was saying. His company's doing what?
Well, he, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they suspended somebody, and Jack told them to unsuspend them, and the company said
they didn't?
No. They said no.
Really?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. He's an idiot.
He was told to jack off?
Nah. Alrighty
then. Alrighty then. We've already been down one rabbit hole, and I haven't even gotten to tell you where you could find me. On the internet, On Facebook, let's start with the hard one. I am Chuck.Nellis.7. That is my political account. It's been open many years. And as we just found out, I've now been shadow banned like I used to be.
No, that's on your regular account, not on that account.
Oh, I know, but if it's on one, it's going to be on the other.
No, not necessarily.
I don't see anything on that one.
It's not the same account. Why don't you just go...
Well, they're tied.
Not really.
No? They don't do it that way? Anyway, that's where I am at Facebook. And for the rest of them, I'm going to look at the screen, Dershie, because I forget where I am.
Because you're senile.
Only slightly. I am on Instagram, MeWe. I am on USA.
Wait, is MeWe the one that... Wait, what's the one that used to be called Wiggywa?
Wigo.
Wigo?
Used to be Wiggywa.
Wiggywa? I call it that. Sorry.
I am on CloutHub.
Hey, guess what?
Hold on. You're already... Oh, she's going for a wee chat room.
Yep.
That was early.
Well, I forgot to go before.
Why? Because you're old.
I forgot to go before.
You're old. Anyway, I'm on CloutHub. I think our CloutHub friends are listening, by the way, Dersh.
Yeah.
I told them. Did you tell them to?
No, I didn't have a chance. I just got my computer back together from.
You just got home and got dinner, basically. I know. So on all those places, I am at Chuck Nellis, my name. And please come join me. Come say hello. Come follow me because I follow back everybody that pretty much follows me, unless you're a nut or something like that.
Wait, did you just tell people to follow you unless you're a nut?
Unless you're a nut.
Unless you're a nut?
To follow me unless you are a nut, yeah.
Shouldn't they follow you because they're a nut?
No.
Yeah, no, wait. No.
You're silly.
That's like most of your followers.
That's where our left-right thing comes in, and that's why we don't talk politics much.
I didn't say a political nut. I just said a nut in general.
That's because you think they're nuts.
Anyway, let's hop out of the
rabbit hole. Anyway, we're in another rabbit hole.
Right out of the rabbit hole, and
he's got noises now.
Let's find out.
All right,
let's find out where we find Lisa.
Mrs. Nebbis, where can we haven't been here in 2 weeks, guys. We're just getting our feet wet again.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in a lot of rabbit holes for a while, but we'll get some interesting topics going here shortly.
Hey, Easy Talks crashed. I'm getting it back up. It's the video, so let's not do video.
That's fine.
All right, so it'll be up in just a second.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. Thank you for holding on. We had a little technical difficulty with one of our applications that we need to run the show. The video keeps crashing, and it's about the third, fourth time it's done that to us. So we're gonna go without the video feed between Chuck and I, and just stick to audio tonight. So
that's okay, because you're both goofy looking.
This is true. This is very true. All right. So
she's being mean to me. All right. Meanwhile, back at the show,
we're back.
I'm joking.
We're back.
Miss Lisa.
You're not missing anything.
Yes, you are. You're a dork. Where can we find you on the internet, Miss Lisa? Why are you sighing?
Louise at Twitter and Louise.blog, and you can't find me on Facebook, and Ladies of Speed, where I'm a writer there. Ladies of I think it's los.org on Twitter.
Oh, there it is. He's got it on the screen.
Yeah, and vintagevelma.com and Vintage Velma Finds on Etsy, and that's it for now.
There you go. Alrighty then. Hershey, we all good at your end? We looking technically okay?
Technically okay.
Lisa just got through dissing us, and we can't video between each other during the show. So
you said you couldn't. You said no video.
Yeah, no video.
All right. Well, I just said you're not missing anything.
You're so nice.
All right. Anyway, so he's
gonna be the moderator.
We're back. We're flowing. We got people out there listening, so let's stay on track here. Anyway, so we are with
where are you, Dershey?
I'm nowhere. But I want to tell everybody out there who's listening.
He's nowhere, man.
I've been all over, so I'm not sure where I'm at. You can call us, please.
I've been everywhere, man.
Yes, please call us.
Call us, please. The phone number is 201-439-8092. That's 201-439-8092. You call in. We'd love to talk to you. When you call, you're going to need a show ID. That show ID is 820-07366. 820-07366. That's the show ID. And if you happen to be listening and you're on your computer, you could also contact us if you download the free app called Easy Talks. Easy Talks. When you load it, give that same show ID, 820-07366, and you can get on the show that way as well, just as easily. Anyway,
we fancy.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we are. Anyway, so if I'm not sure where I'm at. Like I said, I've been from here to Chicago for the last 2.5 weeks, and all over the place.
You've been a busy fella.
And drinking some wine.
And doing wine trails. Yep, that was quite nice.
But I can't seem to get you to tell us where to find you on the internet.
Well, I can't seem to get a word in edgewise, but I'll try.
That's a shock. I am shocked.
Chop.
Everywhere. Yeah. I am on CloutHub mainly. I'm on USA.life, MeWe, Wego, and Parler. And all of those places, I'm Dersh, so that would be at Dersh at any of those places. Mainly, if you want to really get a hold of me, find me on CloutHub, because I'm there all the time. And I check those other places often, but not so often. You cannot find me on Twitter, and you could find me on Facebook, but I won't.
If you wanted to,
I won't friend you. So
that's like Lisa.
Don't waste your time.
Get off my lawn!
Here, am I your friend in real life? No. Well, then don't friend me.
Get off my lawn! Yeah.
I haven't seen you in 27,000 years. Oh, how you doing? I want to be your friend again. I think I had. No see. I think I was in second grade with you.
Right, I didn't like you. I didn't like you then.
I talked to you one time in 1973.
Although I must say, I am friends with a couple people like that from school, where I didn't really know them then, but I know them as people now, not as people from school.
Yeah, I even have people I didn't like in school that
was
now
you.
We're friends.
That was you.
Yeah, you didn't know who the hell I was.
You weren't even.
She still claims I wasn't even in the same class.
You're in the yearbook. That's all I can say.
No respect. Hey, I see your face, Dershie. I thought we weren't doing cameras.
He missed you.
Yeah, mine is on. Yours is not. I'm not
he doesn't look suntanned enough to have been on vacation.
Not even sure I can
wine.
Turn that off.
He's drinking wine.
He's drinking wine.
That's a good plan. Anyhow, should I get on with the show, Mr. Dorsey?
That would be nice. I'm sure.
Firstly, you are the topic of the show. You are the topic of the first part of the show. Tell us what you did on vacation.
Oh my, we don't have that much time.
But we need
we only got an hour.
Shot
we'll just do a little bit. Just a little bit.
A synopsis. A summary.
Oh, yeah, well, we went to, they've gone for two weeks and, 5 days and something like that, 4 days. We went to Atlanta, see my brother who lives there, and then...
right down the street from my sister, apparently.
Cool.
Really?
Pretty much, he lives near Cumming, right? Or incoming, or around there somewhere.
Suwanee. It's not too far from Cumming, though. No,
that's not. Right down the street is close enough.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, that's close.
It's on
close enough.
It's on the right side of Atlanta, at least, and that means a lot.
The right side of Atlanta.
Yeah, because it takes you 4 hours to get around Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
And
that beltway there is horrid.
Yeah, we went to the Smoky Mountains. Actually, just outside the Smoky Mountains for a week. We were up on a cabin on top of a mountain overlooking Pigeon Forge.
On top of Old Smoky?
Pretty close to it. We're not quite.
Was it covered in cheese?
But
or spaghetti.
It was pretty close. And my son, his wife, and 2 of my grandkids joined us there.
11 miles apart, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where
nice.
Where his brother lives and my sister lives.
That's cool.
11 miles.
Smokies were fantastic. As usual, I love going up there. As you know, we talked about before I left. Very, very little. There's no Wi-Fi there.
I like that.
Cell connection is iffy, depending on which way the wind blows. And if you go into the park, there's no cell whatsoever, which is where we spend most of our time.
That view you had was quite something.
The view is spectacular, but I just love being there. It's just recharge. You kind of get away from all the BS, and just kind of enjoy my family and my wife and my dogs, and we just have a great time out there. I absolutely love it.
That's cool.
So we were there.
And
for
Dad?
I like that order. Family, wife, dogs.
Yeah, that works.
At least he didn't put wife last.
That's true. If the dogs came first, he'd be in big trouble.
I know.
My wife is part of the family, so she got mentioned twice. So.
Well, all right. So
that's true. She got double billing.
There you go.
Then after that, we went to southeast Indiana, and if there's anyone out there that's traveling by car through Indiana and the Indianapolis area, southeast, you have got to do the wine trail there. I've been all over the world and had some of the best wines in some of the best regions of the world, and southeast Indiana is literally my favorite wine region anywhere.
Do they actually grow the grapes? Like,
yes.
What makes those
wines
better?
Indiana has
I didn't even know that.
A really great climate for grapes, and they grow most of their stuff. My favorite winery, which one we spend most of our time at, is Oliver.
Yeah.
And it's in Bloomington. It's outside of Indianapolis. They have a beautiful...
I know where that is. There was that movie, Breaking Away, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Right?
That is correct.
You don't know. You don't say...
I've seen that movie, That was a long time ago.
What's it about?
Shoot.
What's it about?
Like 1980-something?
What's it about?
I know what it's about. I know what it's
the
about.
The bicycle. Shut up, Chuck.
All right.
It's a great movie. That.
University of Indiana
right?
holds a
I do remember that.
Single speed, all day, all night. Ride around the track on the bikes.
Yep.
They've been doing it forever.
Yep. He was just pretending he knew what we were talking about.
No, I did know.
You did not. You did not.
Raspberries for Lisa. Shut up, Lisa.
You shut up, Chuck. You didn't know.
Anyway, there are some
next
fantastic wineries there. Oliver, Butler, and then there's
that's
one.
Awesome.
There's one down that's much closer to to Kentucky, and that's Huber. And Huber is an orchard farm, and it's a working farm. They grow all kind of vegetables.
Cool.
They've got a farmer's market there on site. You can get blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. I mean, just you name it.
Those berries.
And they also have started in like the last 5 years, and it's really got nice. A distillery. So now they're doing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're doing whiskey and bourbon. And I tried a sample of it. I don't do whiskey and bourbon normally, but I wanted to try it, and it was quite special. I have to say, it was quite special.
It was special.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's about 10 wineries on that wine trail.
And you hit them all.
We hit most of them, but.
Hey, at any point did you go more wine?
No, we just do.
No.
Most of them we do tastings, and we'll buy a couple of bottles of wine. When we go to Oliver, we'll buy a couple of bottles to sit out, and get a cheese platter or fruit platter or something like that. And they have just amazing grounds overlooking a lake. They have live music there every night, and it's just a great place to sit down and enjoy some wine. And our hotel was about 3 miles from there, so it was easy getting home. But it was fabulous. So.
Autopilot.
And after that,
very cool.
We spent a week in Chicago taking care of my wife's bridesmaid. Passed away 2 years ago, and she has a daughter, and her husband.
Right.
Her husband works for a bank, so he works. He leaves because of Chicago. He commuted, so he leaves. 6:30 in the morning. He gets home 6:30 that night. So in the summer,
I used to hate that. I used to hate the Ryan Expressway.
Yeah. So in the summer when she's out of school, he needs somebody to help, and we go up there, and actually all of Kyra Hansen was her name, and we go up there, and her friends come up, and each of us takes a week to get her to camps cool. and take care of her while her dad's working.
Very nice.
Yeah,
we
really
enjoyed
good
it.
Of y'all.
We enjoyed it. I love them.
That's good of y'all.
She's a great kid. She's 11 years old now, and love her to death. Cool. Her dad Mitch.
She's doing well, I hope.
She's doing great.
Well, as well as you can when your mom's passed away.
Yeah, she has her days.
I mean,
she has her days, but she's doing pretty good.
She's not a teenager yet, so there's that.
Yeah.
She's what?
She's not a teenager yet, so there's that.
I know that's going to be a little harder, but
but unfortunately, it's kind of sad because it's great for her. But her dad has arranged a way to retire next April.
Oh wow!
So that means we won't need to go up there in the summer. We probably might visit anyway.
Well, you'll go anyway.
You can if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. But he's in banking, like I said, and they like to travel. So like before we came up there, they went to Arizona to see the Grand Canyon. They went to Florida.
That's cool.
Here's the funny part
Disney.
is, like, everybody I know has gone to the Grand Canyon in the past couple. I mean, not everybody I know, but I know like 8 people that have gone to the Grand Canyon in like the last 3 weeks.
Right.
It's weird.
So you had a fantastic trip.
Yeah, it was great, and coming back, went to a couple of places I've been wanting to see for a long time, and since we weren't going back to Chicago, I went by Chicagoland Speedway, as you know. And
yeah, those were great pictures too.
They canceled their tours, and they're not doing tours anymore. And so
really,
the gates were locked. There was one gate, that goes
Why
up.
is that?
Nobody's interested. If you know where Chicago,
I can see that. I can see that.
If you know where Chicagoland Speedway is, because I really didn't know where it is.
It's not in Chicago, right?
No, it's actually in the city called Chicagoland, which I found out when I was there, because I didn't know that
Is
either.
it really?
Yeah. The city is called Chicagoland.
I did not know that existed.
Yeah, it's south.
Oh, cool.
South.
So,
west
on your way
Chicago.
back, did you see anything on the way back, did you see anything we'd recognize? I mean, like landmarks or just places you wanted to catch?
Basically, we went to one of my wife's bucket lists, and I've known her. We've been married
cool.
for 25 years. She's always wanted to go to a sunflower field, and I found one.
Oh, that was an awesome
Did you go to the
picture.
one in,
Those were awesome
Did you
pictures.
go to the one in Georgia?
They hacked it down. It's not there right now.
And they're getting ready to sell that field is why.
So where did you find one?
In Tennessee, pretty near where the cabin is, actually. It's south of Knoxville, and so we went by, and she got to check off her bucket list, and got out in the sunflower field, got to run. They have a second field for visitors, and you can cut flowers.
Right.
And she cut some flowers for herself.
Well, maybe next week you can get some of those pictures up. Seeing you just got home, you didn't have time to load them up, so we can show you guys the pictures of his vacation next week. If that's cool with you,
nice.
Dersh.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fantastic.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so you're home. We're glad to see you. I really didn't expect you to want to do this show tonight, and you're a hero for doing it. And I'm really glad to see you. I missed you, my brother.
Yeah, man, I missed doing the show, and I told you that while I was gone. So
Yeah.
I was actually looking forward to it, and we got up early this morning for a couple of reasons, and one was, the main one for me was so I could get home and hopefully get ready, so we could chat and do the show, because I love you guys.
So,
and it's been 2 weeks, and I just I like doing this, and I missed you guys.
So where did you leave from this morning?
We went from on the way back. We split our trip up. We went from Chicago to Lexington, Kentucky, and then from Lexington to my brother's house last night, and then we got up early this morning and came home from Atlanta. So that's
Gotcha.
that's where
Nice.
we were last night.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really nice vacation.
So apparently
buddy.
your brother and my sister live about probably
20 minutes away.
12 miles apart.
Well, in Atlanta, 12 miles apart takes you about an hour, maybe.
Oh, I
an hour
know.
and a
That's
half.
like an hour. I know. Well, maybe not in North Atlanta though.
Yeah, even there, it's the roads in
Depends.
Atlanta
Depends
are
on
just
where you live.
ridiculous. Yeah, when we were leaving,
Anyway,
we were leaving. It took us
Hey.
longer to go on the surface roads than it did around 285.
yeah. Oh,
But
gosh,
I'm just saying though, if it was back roads, 12 miles, it wouldn't be an
It
hour.
wouldn't be as bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
So, Dershie, we're glad you had a wonderful trip. I want to continue this again on our show next week with pictures, where you can point to the pictures and tell us what you did, if you don't mind.
Oh, that'd be great.
Next topic. We've got an amazing 50th anniversary this week, and everybody needs to watch the stuff on TV about it.
Sorry, Jerry, you weren't old enough to be born yet.
Yeah, you're youngster, you, Jerry. Apollo's 50th anniversary.
Well, no, not 50th. Yeah.
Of landing on the moon.
The first time.
For the first time, right. Of course.
Even though it was fake.
Oh, God. Don't get some people started on that. They actually believe that.
Whatever.
So this is really cool. What we wanted to do is, because we three do remember the 50th anniversary of landing on the moon, I wanted to briefly ask each one of you to tell us what you were doing.
Or what you remember.
And what you remember about it. Nice. Lisa, you go first.
Well, I was 6.
Yeah, you watched it, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I had geek grandparents. I can't remember really where I was because of my parents going through a divorce at that time, and I think I was probably with my grandparents all the time that summer. I think I probably was. I think I was probably watching it a lot with my grandparents.
That makes sense.
But I just remember it being on all the time. And if I was at home, it was black and white. If it was at my grandparents', it was color. And then again, when I was that little and stuff going on, every once in a while I was at some other people's houses that I didn't know where I exactly was. Like maybe it was a babysitter or something.
Babysitters happen.
Yeah, but I remember it being on all the time.
Right. So, it was constantly on for days.
Well, because because they started showing it when they took off.
Yesterday.
And then they were, going through space or whatever, and I don't remember if they showed it then because it was like boring and they were just like flying through space. And then when they got closer to landing,
that's when they did a lot of filler and a lot of diagrams and models.
Are they gonna die? That whole thing. Like, are they gonna, this happens and then they're not gonna make it and they're all gonna die. But to me, that was kind of like Batman, like every week. Like, tune in next week, is Batman gonna die? Like, kind of like that.
Same Bat channel.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just remember it being on a lot.
It was on. Walter Cronkite looked exhausted by the end of the time. He was straight on there.
Yeah. But, yeah, I remember it. I definitely remember it, watching it all, And then, later on...
One small step for man. That was a big deal.
Right, and then later on, as I was in school, I remember every time there was any sort of a space shot, they would wheel out the little TV and they'd turn it on and we all had to watch it. And I was like, ooh, this is cool. And then they'd, push it back. And I was like, okay,
TV at school.
Go on with your day.
TV at school. That was fun days.
Yeah.
I remember those, too. How about you, Dersh?
I was at home.
Yeah?
With my mom, who was a teacher, so we watched it there.
Right.
And I thought it was fascinating,
yeah, me too.
As a kid, I was 10 going on 11, and it was I don't know. It's just one of the weirdest things to look up. You go out at night and you look up at the moon and go, wow, there's like somebody actually there.
I know, on there. I know.
It was just so weird, but I remember a lot of it, but I'll be honest with you, I remember the Apollo 13 mission more than I remember the 11.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's because it was so much drama. I mean, those guys almost died, seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they hyped it up.
Well, they figured it out with a canister and a baggie and a tie, I think it was. So anyway, so you were with family, I guess? Mom, you said?
Mom and brother. Yeah.
That's cool. And it was summer vacation, so...
Watching at home.
You guys were... And of course, it was very late at night.
My dad was working. But they had a TV there. And so he watched it at work, but yeah. It's just incredible to think about it, though, especially the way the Apollo program started off with, the 3 astronauts dying and living here in Florida. I was in, it was close to home, because it was right down from us.
Yeah, I when I was in Orlando, I used to watch space shuttles go up, and the week after we left was the one that didn't go up. I had gotten sent up to Chicago, but so I was in Connecticut, and my dad he's an uber geek. My dad worked on nuclear submarine technology and stuff like that at that time of our life, so he was He could fix a computer on a submarine, but he couldn't hang a light.
No, but he can't fix his computer now.
That's and he funny. Can't fit right. Exactly. That's exactly. The funny thing. He's a scientific-minded guy, but he's not very handy. So he was all excited about the whole thing, and we watched the whole thing intently. And when they stepped on the moon, I think we jumped up and down just about as much as we would when our team won the Super Bowl or World Series.
Absolutely.
If you were a geek, this was as cool as it gets. Oh my God, we're on the moon. It was the coolest thing ever. I mean, I remember it 50 years later like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Just because we were so into it. I mean, my dad bought a model for me of it and stuff like that, and I had put it together. Maybe I was high in the fumes of the glue. Who knew?
Maybe you still are.
The thing is that...
I remember the lunar module models, though, that you could get.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Those
were only for boys, though. They were not for girls.
That was wrong-minded.
They were not for girls. Girls could not have...
I had the lunar module, too.
I know. You had one, I did not. I couldn't even have an Easy Bake Oven. What's up with that?
I bought you one.
You were 10 years old. How are you going to buy me an Easy Bake Oven?
I know. Jerry, you were right. Smartphones are better than the computer on the Apollo 50 years ago. In fact, the handheld calculator was good.
Yeah, you can go down to the dollar store and get a calculator there that's 100,000 times better than the computers they used on board the Apollo. No question about
it. Amazing, isn't it?
It's not even close. Those things.
And who did all the coding?
You did.
No. Who did all the coding for that?
A lot of it was done by women.
Yeah, the women.
Women's? Because they were good typists.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of data entry. The coding was done by some women, but also mostly men. The data entry is different than the actual coding itself. I know because I used to teach it.
I know, but there was also there was also a lot of coding done by women.
Yes, there was.
Yes.
And actually,
let's just say it was done by both.
But most there was a lot of math done by women and actually a lot of black women who were forced to work out of the basement.
That movie.
Yeah.
Tell the story, Dersh, if you know it, real quick.
Well, I mean, they were behind the scenes, and they weren't allowed to be in part of the mission itself. Or they were literally put in a building in a basement, on the other side, and very, very intelligent women, and the leader was a black woman, and she was a genius and really responsible for most of the math behind the mission itself. Absolutely, she was.
Not enough people know this.
Well, except for the fact they had that movie.
A lot of people didn't see the movie.
The other thing that most people don't know is when they got to the moon and they were about trying to land on the moon, they were within 20 seconds of dying because the original landing site, which we weren't able to really see, was craters and rocks.
It was in the middle of a crater with rocks. Yep,
big rocks, and they had to alter
Armstrong. Tell about Armstrong taking manual control.
Yeah, Armstrong, he had to because the computer would have landed him and the rocks and would have died. And Armstrong took over, and I mean they had about 20 seconds of fuel left by the time he found some place that could actually put him down on the moon.
It was a perfect touchdown, too.
Yeah,
manually. Did you see the landing gear in the sand? It was a perfect landing. Yeah. He was a hell of a pilot. He truly was. Guys, if you don't know anything about the pilots, and I call them pilots because they're astronauts, but they were pilots first, who were on the Apollo missions, look them up because they were amazing people committed to this.
Yeah, they got the best of the best.
The best. Yeah, you take Top Gun and you take the best of Top Gun is basically what you got there.
Yep.
Is that our dog?
Well, yeah, they're outside.
Oh, okay, good. Anyway.
The other thing, too, before we go on, is... go
ahead.
I got to go down to see the Apollo 11, 12, and 13 rockets sitting on the launch pads, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
And Apollo 13,
awesome.
Apollo 13, which is the reason I remember it so more, not only just because of the accident and things we're going through, it launched on my dad's birthday. And,
oh, neat.
Yeah, we got to go down and see. We were down there and on site, and got to see the rocket and everything, and it, we thought it was so cool that it was launching on my dad's birthday. The third mission to the moon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
You want to hear something interesting?
Yes.
We were watching this Walter Cronkite thing
that was cool.
Last night. He was only 53.
Is that all he was?
I know. Everybody looked older. Everybody looked older than though.
I look like I'm old, and I'm only 22.
No, I mean I see pictures of my grandma there.
Oh yeah, they did look.
She was 47 when I was born.
Must be that good skincare products, huh?
No, it's just everybody didn't. It was also everybody has to look younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People didn't care.
True. Alrighty. Are the pups okay, I suppose? Miss Lisa?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay, good. Let's, everybody covered this. So after it happens this week, probably talk about it again next week, because we usually overlap weeks and things like that. But there was a great race this weekend in NASCAR. And we talk about NASCAR every week if you don't normally listen to it.
Did Dershie actually see it?
Dershie, did you get to see it, man?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing better than beating
your brother,
your younger sibling.
Yeah. Kyle, all right, let me set up the scenario.
I say that as a big sister.
For the folks who aren't NASCAR fans, let me set up the scenario. The little brother who hardly ever wins, but has won championship, but way back in the beginning of his career, and he's getting towards the end of his career, Kurt Busch, beat his younger brother, Kyle Busch, who's got 200 wins across the 3 NASCAR series. He's going straight to the Hall of Fame. So they have this awesome side-by-side battle with the last 2 laps or so, and going back and forth and side-by-side, and the older brother, Kurt, would never let the younger brother clear him, because if he did, it was over. And at the end, Kyle admitted that he couldn't wreck his brother, so he gave him a little room, and that was just enough room for Kurt to beat him by half a car length at the checkers. It was so freaking exciting, and Lisa, how excited was Kurt in Victory Lane?
He was so happy. He was so happy. Sorry, I had a hiccup. He was so happy.
I know, it was awesome.
He was so smiley and happy. He's like, well, hello, anytime. That's an older brother thing.
Yeah. Well, and especially when your young brother is so much more successful and he's got a race team.
And he's an asshole.
Wait,
I didn't say that.
There's your first $1 to go pay for the trip, Dersh.
Yeah, you did. But I agree with her, so we're suspending the swear jar on that one.
Yeah,
That's a freebie.
All right, number 1, bonus, you beat Kyle. Number 2, bonus, you beat Kyle, and he's your little brother.
Right.
So that's like an extra bonus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
It was just so memorable. It was a pretty boring race, to be honest with you, about 60% of the race. But that last caution and that shootout between those two was something I'm always going to remember. And they're going to remember.
He was so happy. And then what? Supposedly Kyle left him there?
Yeah. Kyle was supposed to be Kurt's ride home, but after Kurt won, you've got so many obligations, and then the partying with the crew.
Yeah, they were like, "Are you gonna be here by then?" He's like, "No, okay, I'm leaving you here."
And they did confirm that he had another ride home, but he apparently finally got home at like 4:30 in the morning, and Kyle and Samantha have a young baby.
He's not a young baby. He's 5 or 6.
All right. Well, their kid gets up at 5 at 8 o'clock every morning, and they were like, if we're there till 4:30 and he gets up at 8, that's not going to work. So they were thinking about themselves mostly.
Oh, actually, I think Samantha, what she said was, we're leaving his ass here.
Right, probably. Let him get his own ride.
Yeah.
Yep. So Kurt got left behind, and I don't think he cared because he just won a race.
You think he couldn't find his own way?
It was his first race with the Chip Ganassi team. Chip Ganassi is more famous for Indy racing than he is for NASCAR because he hasn't been that successful. But he's brought this team a long way in a short time. Now Kurt's probably 40 years old or so.
How more than that?
Is he older than that?
I think so. Yeah.
He's no youngster, that's for sure. So, what do you guys impressions of that race? I mean, is it as memorable to you as it is to me?
I just remember that he won. That's about it.
Yeah. Darsh?
I thought it was a fantastic race. I'm not going to put it in my top 10 races of all time. Right. But I mean, I love the end. The ending is one of the best endings I've seen.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
One of the best finishes.
The ending is good.
It really reminds me of Kurt Busch with Ricky Craven at Darlington in a way, but without the beating.
Yeah. I think that anytime you have the opportunity to have a sibling rivalry of that scale, it's always going to add to the adventure,
Right, but do you remember when they used to pretend like they didn't even know each other?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, they had a row for 5 years.
No, what I'm saying, 3 or 4 years ago, they didn't even acknowledge, even on TV, they didn't even acknowledge that they...
That was after they wrecked each other that one time. They stopped talking.
No, I'm not talking about to each other.
Oh.
I'm talking about on TV. They didn't even, acknowledge that they were related half the time.
That was part of it. Yeah, they really were not happy with each other.
No. Okay,
anyway.
Let's start over, Chuck. The people on TV that were not Bushes barely even acknowledged that they were brothers.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
You're right. They practically didn't even mention the fact.
Yes, I get you.
That they knew each other.
Yep.
It was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
They said they were brothers, and that was about it.
Well, Kurt was the bad boy. He really was. He got in all sorts of trouble. Hey, cheers, Dersh. I saw that sip of your beer there.
Yeah, I
just opened a Yingling. So.
I killed that puppy, so it's gone. It's dead.
Don't kill puppies. That's not nice.
That's not nice. Hey, Lisa, you're about to get the rant.
About?
Because we've covered every topic except for thrift shops.
All right.
Well, I just want to say one thing before we leave. And Jerry's listening out there.
Before we leave, I like that.
Before we leave this topic,
all right.
Jerry's listening out there. Jerry, I want to apologize for thrashing you so much and so badly last week at our fantasy league.
That's funny. That's awesome.
I destroyed Jerry. It was an embarrassment. I'm sure he hasn't recovered yet. It's probably why he hasn't called in yet, because he's probably still crying at his beer. I
think he's at a Toyota dealership right now, trading in his Chevy.
That 1 point win I put up was just devastating. But I do have to say that I do not like Kurt Busch, because before Kurt won, I had a 12-point lead on Jerry, and then because Jerry had Kurt and he won in that last lap, that erased my 12-point lead, and I only won by 1. So that's all I have to say about that.
Oh no! The world is ending. Everybody, hide!
That's all I have to say about that.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. You're funny. You're a hoot. You got to rub that in, didn't you?
Oh, you got that right,
Jerry. He did it, not me. All right, now. Miss Lisa had a rant she wanted to go on about.
It's not a rant.
It's a bit of a rant.
It's not a rant. It's an observation.
With a rant attached. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. It's not a rant. It's an observation. So, I know a lot of people like to donate things to various charities, thrift shops, whatever. And I like to shop at them.
Yep.
Well, Goodwill is one of the places where people like to donate a lot of stuff. All I want to say is, if you really care who get your donations, check out whether you want to give it to Goodwill or Salvation Army or, in our case, Living Free Ministries or the church down the street or whatever, because they do very different things with those donations. Right now, apparently Goodwill is trying to partner up with some like online place that takes your stuff and sells it for a huge markup to other people.
That's not the whole Goodwill idea.
Right, and I have my own issues with Goodwill, and there's also the tax ramifications right now as to whether you can deduct things or not deduct things, but just all I'm saying is be really careful. A lot of the time, there are websites on Facebook where you can or groups where you can just say, look, I've got, 10 pieces of clothing that are size 10 or whatever, women's, do you need these to go to work? Come get them from my house. That's always almost a better way for you to donate your things right now, whereas somebody's going to take those things from Goodwill and sell them online to somebody else for 3 times what you donated them for.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is just be really careful where you donate your stuff right now, because it's getting to be really sketchy and a scam.
Well, yeah, as far as the prices go, what I don't like is that when you even go into a hospice store now,
right,
they aren't asking just
a
few dollars more.
They're trying to get antique store prices for things.
They're looking online and they're getting full retail prices on things, and they're not selling those things that are of that value. And if they're even close to that, why would you bother going there when you could sit on your butt at home?
Right. So they're getting a little out of control.
They're out of control. Yes.
I would almost rather donate my stuff directly to an individual instead of to those stores, because they're getting a little ridiculous.
They're getting greedy. And that's not right when you're doing it for charity. And it's supposed to be for the benefit of poor people.
Right. And not only that, but somebody said, and they had a good point, there's a place called XX whatever Ministries in our town. And they've jacked up their prices really high. And somebody said, well, the point of a ministry, for one, is so like poorer people can go in there and buy the clothes for really cheap. They're like, no. That's not our ministry. Our ministry is to support men who are in addiction, and we can pay for them to get out of it. So you don't really care about those people that are poor that want to come in there and buy your clothes for $2 instead of $7, like what you're trying to charge now?
That's my complaint.
Right.
That's exactly my complaint.
Right. So if they're called a thrift shop, well, nobody wants to be a thrift shop anymore. They want to be like a resale shop. Right. So where are people supposed to go?
Right. The whole idea of a thrift shop is for stuff to be cheap.
So where are people supposed to go find the clothes for cheap anymore?
If you're paying 3/4 of the price of a retail for a brand new thing, why wouldn't you just buy the brand new thing instead of going to the wholesale?
But some people can't.
I know. It's very frustrating, because the whole idea of a thrift store was very simply so that people could get things cheap for people that couldn't afford stuff.
And who cares if somebody is there that doesn't necessarily have to be, say you don't have to buy that for cheap. Like me, I don't even, you know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to jack it up so nobody can afford it.
I know. Well, I mean, I've looked at some NASCAR stuff and some die-casts and things like that.
Right.
And the prices they're charging, I'm like, I even showed them one time.
Or when they do their little, or they do their little
$10 more than it is online.
Or they do their little eBay printouts.
Yeah.
Well, that's just silly.
Yeah, And that just shows that they're going item by item checking instead of...
Right, but that doesn't even line up because eBay is a whole different thing.
Right.
You know?
It is. That's a resale.
You can't.
A retail.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of people come in there and they need to get like $2 items for their children, or baby bibs or little jeans or whatever.
Exactly.
They don't want to pay $7 for that stuff. If they did, they'd go to Walmart.
Yep.
So but there's also like some sort of alliance right now where, like I said, this online retailer, which is called ThreadUp, is trying to join up with Goodwill and purchase some stuff from them, which has been donated for free, and ThreadUp is not a nonprofit.
Right.
And yet they're trying to make money off of all this stuff. So
yeah.
All I'm saying is just be really careful where you donate your stuff. Because
absolutely.
Some of it could be better donated like directly to a church or directly to a person.
Right.
Than Goodwill, especially since...
Or if you know poor neighbors.
Well, that's what I said.
Them, right.
That's what I said, a person.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There are online Facebook groups, called, I don't even know what they're called, but they're within your community. There are Facebook groups where people like give away stuff for free or get stuff for free or whatever. And yes, there's always people that are like trying to take advantage of or whatever. But
right.
You know what? So what? If you give it to somebody instead of Goodwill, how is that hurting you? They're just trying to turn around and sell it for way more than it's worth.
Right. And that's the wrong part about it.
Right.
It used to be that if you turned in like an old shirt, they'd turn around and sell it for $2, $3.
Or $1 even. But now right. They're just like...
Well, like $1 for a t-shirt and like $3, $4 for a button-up.
Right, but now they're just trying to get like half retail for stuff.
It's not quite right.
So I'm saying is just be careful where you donate your stuff.
Right.
Because it may be a better purpose to just give it directly to some people.
Right. Very good. Very good.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, guess what? We've talked for about an hour now, and we didn't even. Well, we started the show by being completely down the rabbit hole, but we eventually found our way back. Yeah. What do you think, Dersh?
Dersh is asleep.
He fell asleep.
He's asleep.
No. Night, Dersh.
I had my mic off for a second while Lisa was ranting, and I was not
ranting.
I was enjoying.
You shut up.
I was enjoying that.
Shut up, Dersh.
No, you're absolutely right, though, Lisa.
It makes me mad. Right. It really makes me mad. They're trying to make money off of poor people, and that's not how it should work.
What do you think, Dersh?
I agree. We don't give to them anymore for a lot of reasons, and some of it is a lot of donations they just take and throw to the dump anyway.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And
right.
I'd rather they'll even sit out in those collection bins, and people come by and they steal them, which like Lisa said, is more than likely they're stealing them to sell them. We donate all of our stuff to a local Christian charity, which doesn't sell any of it, but gives it to the community.
Right.
That's perfect.
See, that's why I've been doing.
Find a place like that.
Yeah, I've been doing that, and I've also been doing like specific things. Like I have, 10 size whatever items that you could wear. I'll give them to you if you just come by and pick them up.
You put that in like your group. Your local town group.
Yeah, a little group. Yep. Or like we just gave away a whole bunch of like a rice cooker and a toaster and a whatever, and this girl's like, "Oh my God, I just moved out of my mom's house. I need those things."
Kitchen.
Yeah, so
that's great.
Instead of her going to Goodwill and paying $7 a piece for those things.
Right. But in all honesty, though, before we completely bash them, if you're looking to furnish your first house, they are great places to go. Some of them, because you can get silverware for nothing. You can get dishes for nothing.
Depends on where you go. Depends on where you go.
You got to be careful where you go. But
you can actually sometimes
you can
actually sometimes get better stuff at the dollar store.
Yeah, that's a good place too.
You know what I'm saying? Like for dishes
Dollar Generals and things like that.
No, the regular dollar store where everything's $1.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you really want it, like new stuff and it's like your first house and everything,
right?
you can get pretty good stuff there. That wasn't around when we were
right
growing up.
Well, listen, everybody, we're sorry about the technical glitches that we started our show with. We don't know what happened. It just happened.
We don't know what happened.
It used to happen a lot more, but now it doesn't happen hardly at all. But it makes sense that it would happen the first time we get back on the air.
Yeah.
We're so glad Dershie had a good, safe trip.
Yeah,
we missed you, buddy.
Yeah, man. It was awesome.
It was a great... Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I don't know. Maybe he should check out those North Carolina wineries one day, because I hear they're pretty good, too.
They are. They are. I have checked them out. And I love North Carolina wineries. There's some really good ones.
Well, you need to get back up here.
I sure do. You know,
you do.
One of our close friends is a band director. He used to live up in that area. Actually, not just outside of Mount Airy.
Oh yeah,
about 10 miles from Mount Airy. And,
Mount Pilot.
Yeah, exactly. And we used to go up there a lot, but he's no longer there. He moved to.
He died.
I'm just
kidding.
He was down here in Orlando.
I'm just kidding. That's just a thing that was.
Yeah.
He was here in Orlando for a while on a band gig, and now he's gone somewhere else. I'm not sure what band he's working with now, but we spent a lot of time up there before.
That's cool. Very cool.
Now I got
Very
some new friends up there that need to come visit.
Yes, you do, my friend.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Sure do.
Our dog just agreed with it. You got to get up here.
Yeah. Yep.
So, everybody, here's what we're going to do.
What are we going to do, Chuck?
Dershie and I are going to do the right side of politics tomorrow night. Is that correct, sir?
I sure hope so. That was Jerry.
What was that?
That didn't sound reassuring.
That sounded like a
That sounded like a doom.
What the hell?
Like we're doomed.
What the heck was
that, Dershie?
Look, me and Chuck are going to be online.
That wasn't
That
good.
wasn't even me.
That was Jerry.
That's
Jerry.
funny.
Jerry's
That's
saying that he tried to call in, but it's saying that our ID is incorrect.
All right. Well,
Did you give him the wrong number?
No.
Tell him to call in tomorrow.
Yeah, tell him to call in tomorrow night. He can join us, and we'll have a good old rant. Now, tomorrow night, we will post the locations you can see us at, and we're going to do it. What time we want to do it tomorrow night, buddy? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, yeah, regular time.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We usually have it on a Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock every single week. But because we missed this week, we're going to do one Thursday for you.
Oh, good.
So I'll be out in the trailer so Lisa doesn't have to hear me rant.
That'd be funny.
Remember that time we got locked
yeah, that's another story
That's
for another day.
Story for another day.
Actually
we really did.
literally got locked into a trailer and we could not get out.
The handle to get out was broken.
No, it wasn't broken. He locked it because he didn't really realize we couldn't get out. So when he left, he locked it, and then we couldn't get out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you'll find Dershie. Tell everybody where to look on YouTube to find it, to make it easy.
Yeah, we'll post it on all of our sites, but all you have to do is search for "Truth is Free," all one word on YouTube. Truth is free, all one word, no spaces, all lowercase, and you'll want to look for the eagle with a flag behind it, because there's like 3 different Truth is Free sites.
Oh, really?
Chuck and I are the one that has the eagle with the U.S. flag behind it. So, yeah, that'll be great.
Of course,
looking forward to it.
Yep, it'll be good fun. I kind of need to vent my spleen on this from everything that's going on, and we'll do that tomorrow. So everybody make sure you check us out, please.
You didn't say you had to vent your gallbladder because you don't have one.
It's gone.
I know.
It's gone. So, and Lisa and I will be back on the Chuck and Lisa show at the normal time next week at 9:30.
9:30.
9:30.
Not Eastern.
Not Eastern either. No. Let's see. So, anybody got anything to add?
I love you guys, man. I sure miss doing this show. I really did. I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, It's good fun. Love you, dude. Say goodnight, Lisa.
Good night, Lisa.
Good night, Lisa.
Dersh. Good night, Chuck. Shut up, Chuck.
Shut up, Chuck.
Good night, Dershie. I love you, man. Good night, Lisa. Well, I'll see you in a second.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.